The office is dark, save for the cold glow of my computer screen. It's past midnight, and Annapolis sleeps beyond the glass walls of my corner suite. My fingers hover over the keyboard, frozen, as if they know what I'm about to find will shatter everything. I'm Olivia Bennett, 36, CFO of a tech startup that's clawing its way to the top. By day, I crunch numbers, charm investors, and keep this ship afloat. By night, I'm Daniel's wife, the man I fell for 12 years ago under the oak trees of Georgetown's campus. His laugh so warm, it felt like home. 12 years, 6 married. I thought we were unbreakable, but now I'm staring at an email that's tearing my world apart. It's not even meant for me. Daniel left his work account open on my laptop, a careless mistake. The subject line is innocent weekend plans, but the sender's name, Sophia Reynolds, pricks at me like a needle. I don't know her, not really, just a vague memory of Daniel mentioning a project manager at a client's firm. My heart thuds heavy as I click. The words hit like a slap. Chesapeake this weekend, babe. Don't forget the red wine. And that pearl necklace I love, counting the hours. My breath catches sharp like I've swallowed glass. Chesapeake, our place. The bay house where we danced barefoot to jazz, where I dreamed of our kids running through the grass. He's taking her there. I scroll, my hands trembling, and it gets worse. Attached is a receipt, $2,000 for a luxury suite at the Bayfront Inn, paid from our company's expense account. My company. The one I've bled for, staying up until dawn to balance books while Daniel charmed clients with his easy smile. He's not just cheating, he's stealing from me, from us to fund this. My vision blurs not with tears, but with a strange cold clarity. This isn't shock, it's confirmation. For months I've ignored the signs. Daniel's late client dinners, his phone glued to his hand, the way he changed his passcode last spring. His eyes, once bright when they met mine, now slide past me like I'm a stranger in our own home. I told myself it was stress that 12 years wears on everyone. Don't be paranoid, Olivia. I'd whisper, brushing it off. But now, staring at Sophia's words, I want to scream at that naive woman, stop being stupid. The truth isn't a hunch anymore. It's here, glowing on my screen, mocking me. I lean back in my chair, the leather creaking under me. The office is silent, but my mind roars. I could confront him now, storm into our bedroom, fling the laptop in his face. But Daniel's asleep, probably dreaming of her, his dark hair messy on the pillow, like it was in college. No, I won't give him the satisfaction of seeing me break. Not yet. My hands steady, and I start digging. If he's using company funds, there's a trail. And I'm damn good at following trails. I pull up the financial dashboard, my fingers flying. There it is, unauthorized transfers, small but frequent, buried in miscellaneous expenses. $10,000 over 3 months. Hotel bookings, a jewelry store in Baltimore. First-class flights to nowhere we've ever gone together. Each transaction is a blade slicing through memories of our vows, our laughter the way he promised me forever. I print the records, the hum of the printer grounding me. This isn't just about Sophia. It's about betrayal on every level. My phone buzzes, startling me. A text from Daniel late. Meeting tomorrow, don't wait up. I stare at it, my thumb hovering over the reply. I could play along, pretend I'm still the trusting wife. Instead, I type, sure, stay warm, it's chilly out there. My voice, if I spoke, would be flat, emotionless. I hit send and feel nothing, just a hollow space where love used to be. I open LinkedIn, searching for Sophia Reynolds. Her profile pops up 39 project manager at a construction firm. Sharp smile in a polished headshot. Married according to her posts. I find her husband, Ethan Caldwell, a bridge engineer in Baltimore. His photo shows a man with tired eyes and a kind, weathered face. Does he know? Does he feel this same gut punch in the dark? I draft a message. My palms slick with sweat. Hi, Ethan. I'm Olivia Bennett. I believe my husband, Daniel Bennett, and your wife, Sophia Reynolds, are involved. I have proof. Can we talk? I hesitate, then hit send. The clock ticks past 1 a.m. I'm not sleeping tonight. The Bay House flashes in my mind, its cedar walls and wide windows overlooking Chesapeake's still waters. We bought it 5 years ago, a promise of weekends away, of building a life. Now it's tainted a stage for his lies. But I'm not letting him rewrite our story. If Daniel thinks he can sneak away with her sipping wine while I sit here clueless, he's wrong. I'm Olivia Bennett. I don't break, I build. And I'm building a plan. This isn't just about catching them. It's about reclaiming the truth, about facing the man who looked me in the eyes and lied. Sophia's email said she's counting the hours. Well, so am I, but for something else entirely. The morning sun cuts through my office blinds, sharp and unforgiving. I haven't slept, not really, just a few restless minutes. Slumped over my desk, the printed financial records still clutched in my hand. My coffee's cold, but I sip it anyway, the bitterness matching the ache in my chest. I'm Olivia Bennett, and last night I found out my husband Daniel isn't just cheating with Sophia Reynolds. He's siphoning money from my company to fund their little escapades. $10,000 slipped through the cracks of miscellaneous expenses. Each dollar feels like a betrayal, a brick pulled from the life we built together. I should be raging, smashing dishes, or calling my lawyer. But I'm calm too. Calm like the quiet before a storm rips through Chesapeake Bay. I've spent 12 years trusting Daniel, ignoring the late nights, the new passcode, the way he avoids my touch. Now every doubt I buried claws its way back. I'm done being the fool. If there's a trail, I'll find it. And I'm starting with the money. My laptop hums as I dive into the company's financial system. I'm the CFO. I know where the shadows hide. The transfers are clever, spread out $500 here, $1 and $200 there, labeled as client entertainment or travel. But they don't add up. A hotel in Baltimore, a jewelry store receipt for a pearl necklace. Plane tickets to Miami when Daniel swore he was at a conference in D.C. My fingers tremble as I cross-reference dates. Every business trip aligns with a withdrawal. He wasn't working late. He was with her. I pull up Sophia's LinkedIn again. Her smile mocks me, all a polished confidence. Project manager at Harbor Construction, a firm we've never worked with. Why her? What does she have that I don't? I shake the thought off. It's a trap, and I'm not falling in. Instead, I search for Ethan Caldwell, her husband. His profile is understated bridge engineer, 42, based in Baltimore. His latest post is about a community project strengthening Annapolis's aging infrastructure. He looks steady, grounded, the kind of man who doesn't deserve this either. My message to Ethan sits in my sent folder unanswered. I check my phone again, nothing. Maybe he thinks I'm crazy, some scorned wife spinning conspiracies. But I know what I saw. I forward him the email from Sophia, the one about Chesapeake, along with a hotel receipt tied to Daniel's name. This is real, I type. Call me. My number stares back at me, 410-555-9876. I hit send and wait, my pulse loud in my ears. The office clock ticks past 9. I should be prepping for a board meeting, but instead, I'm unraveling my marriage. Another email pings Daniel, forwarding a client proposal. Need your input, Liv, he writes casual, like he didn't spend last night texting her. I stare at his name, my thumb hovering. I could reply, keep up the act. Instead, I archive it and dig deeper. A new transaction catches my eye, $3,000, to a private account labeled consulting fee. No consultant exists. I trace the account number. It's linked to a shell company registered in Sophia's name. My stomach twists. This isn't just an affair. It's calculated, deliberate. Are they planning a future together, funded by my work? The thought burns, but I keep going, printing every record, building a case. If Daniel wants to play dirty, I'll play smarter. My phone buzzes and I flinch. It's not Daniel, it's Ethan. Olivia. This is Ethan Caldwell. I got your message. His voice is deep, steady, but there's a crack in it, like he's holding himself together. Is this some kind of joke? I wish it was, I say, my throat dry. I have emails, receipts, bank transfers. Daniel and Sophia are meeting at Chesapeake this weekend. Our Bay House. A long pause. Sophia told me she's at a work conference. She even sent a goodnight text. His laugh is bitter, hollow. What do you have? Enough, I say. Hotel bookings, jewelry, flights, all paid from my company's account. And something else. Sophia's name is on a shell account Daniel's using. It's not just an affair, Ethan. He exhales sharp. I need to see this. Can we meet? There's a cafe in Baltimore, the Daily Grind on Charles Street. Noon tomorrow. I'll bring everything. All right, he says, his voice low. I'll be there. The call ends and I'm alone again, the weight of what's coming pressing down. I spend the next hour cross-checking every transaction, every email. The deeper I go, the uglier it gets. A dinner in Miami, $800 while I was home eating leftovers alone. A spa package for 2 the day after Daniel kissed me goodbye and said he'd miss me. Each discovery is a cut, but I don't bleed. I'm past that. I'm building armor now. Noon comes fast. The Daily Grind smells of espresso and fresh bread, but my stomach's too knotted to eat. I pick a corner booth facing the door, my folder of evidence. Heavy in my bag, Ethan walks in at 12 sharp, tall, broad-shouldered, his brown coat dusted with early fall leaves. His eyes, tired but sharp, find mine. He sits without a word, and I slide the folder across the table. Start here, I say, pointing to Sophia's email. His jaw tightens as he reads, his fingers gripping the pages. The receipts come next: hotels, flights, the pearl necklace. Then the bank transfers the shell account in Sophia's name. With every page, his face hardens. I thought it was just work, he mutters, eyes locked on a photo of Sophia's text. Miss, you can't wait for Chesapeake. She's been distant, sure, but this, I know, I say, my voice softer than I expect. I told myself Daniel was just stressed. But it's not stress. It's a choice. Ethan leans back, rubbing his face. What do you want to do? I meet his gaze, steady. They're going to Chesapeake tomorrow night. I say we meet them there. Not to scream or fight, just to let them see us. And the truth. He doesn't answer right away. His hands clench, then relax. I'm in, he says finally, but I need to know everything. If Sophia's tied to this money, it's not just personal. It's fraud. I nod, a spark of respect flickering. He's not just a betrayed husband. He's a man who builds bridges, who cares about what holds things together. Then we dig deeper, I say. Together. We spend an hour at the cafe poring over the evidence. Ethan's sharp catching details. I missed a construction invoice linked to Sophia's firm, suspiciously vague. "This isn't right," he says, his engineer's mind kicking in. "Her company's bidding on the Annapolis Bridge project. If they're cutting corners, then it's bigger than us," I finish. My mind races. Daniel's betrayal isn't just breaking my heart. It could hurt people, real people crossing that bridge every day. The thought steadies me, gives me purpose. We part with a planned meet at Chesapeake tomorrow morning before Daniel and Sophia arrive. Ethan will check his own records, see if Sophia's firm is hiding more. I'll keep digging into the money. As I drive back to Annapolis, the bay's gray waters glint in the distance. Daniel thinks he's untouchable, slipping away, with her laughing behind my back, but he's about to learn something about me. I don't just find the truth. I make it impossible to ignore. The Annapolis skyline fades in my rearview mirror as I drive toward Chesapeake Bay, the road lined with golden maples and the first hints of fall. My hands grip the wheel steady, but inside I'm a storm. I'm Olivia Bennett, and in 24 hours, I'll face my husband Daniel and his lover Sophia Reynolds in the bay house we once called ours. Last night, I found proof he's not just cheating. He's stealing from my company, funneling thousands to fund their affair. But there's more, something darker, and it's tied to Sophia's construction firm, Ethan Caldwell. Her husband is with me in this, and together we're about to unravel a lie bigger than either of us expected. Ethan's silver truck waits at a gas station just outside Annapolis, where we agreed to meet. He steps out, his brown coat catching the wind, his face etched with the same sleepless resolve I feel. Got everything he asks, voice low like we're plotting a heist. I nod, patting my bag. Bank records, emails, receipts. He holds up a USB drive. Sophia's project files. I pulled them from her laptop last night. Something's off with her company's bridge bid. His eyes, tired but sharp, meet mine. This isn't just about them anymore. We climb into my car and head for the bay house, the air between us heavy with purpose. Ethan's a bridge engineer, the kind of man who builds things to last, and I'm a CFO who spots cracks in numbers. Together, we're a force bound not by friendship, but by betrayal's raw edge. I glance at him, his jaw tight as he stares out the window. "You okay?" I ask. "Been better," he says, his voice rough. "Sophia texted me this morning, said she's networking at a conference." I almost believed her. Again, I swallow my own memories, stinging. Daniel's text last night, client dinner back late. Lies smooth as silk. They think they're untouchable, I say. That's their mistake. The bay house comes into view, its cedar walls glowing in the morning light. The Chesapeake's waters calm beyond it. My chest tightens. This was our sanctuary where Daniel and I planned a future. Laughed over wine promised forever. Now it's their stage tainted by Sophia's emails about red wine and pearl necklaces. I park and we step inside, the air cool and still. The living room smells of pine and salt memories I shove down. "We get here first," I say, setting my bag on the oak table. We lay it all out, emails, bank transfers, everything. When they walk in, there's no running from the truth. Ethan nods, scanning the room. No yelling, no chaos, just us and the evidence. He pauses, his hand brushing the table. Sophia loves this place. Said it was her escape. I should have known it wasn't with me. I don't respond, not with words. My hand grazes his arm, a fleeting gesture. Then I start unpacking. Printed emails, financial records, the $3,000 transfer to Sophia's Shell account. Ethan adds his files, blueprints, and cost reports from Harbor Construction's bridge project. We arrange them like a courtroom exhibit, deliberate damning. 4 wine glasses sit on the table, a nod to Daniel's pretentious taste. But today, they're props in our truth. Ethan flips through his files, his brow furrowing. "Look at this," he says, pointing to a budget sheet. "The bridge bids materials low-grade steel, half the reinforcement required. They're cutting corners to undercut competitors." I lean in my CFO brain, kicking into gear. That's not just sloppy, it's dangerous. If that bridge fails. I trail off, picturing commuters' families crossing it daily. My stomach twists. How much is Sophia involved? Her name's on every approval, Ethan says. His voice hard. She's not just managing, she's hiding it. He pulls up an email from her to Daniel dated last month. "The bid's locked, keep the payments quiet, and we're golden." My blood runs cold. Daniel's not just funding their affair. He's in on this fraud, tying my company to a scheme that could hurt people. "This changes everything," I say. My voice steady, despite the rage bubbling inside. "We're not just exposing their affair. We're stopping this before it goes further." Ethan meets my eyes, a spark of agreement. "The bridge project's public. If we take this to the city board, it's over for her firm. And Daniel," I nod, my mind racing, "we show them the affair evidence first. Let them think that's all we know. Then we hit them with this." I tap the bridge files. They won't see it coming. We spend the next hour preparing, staging the room like a theater of truth. I wipe down the table, my fingers lingering on its grain, remembering Daniel carving our initials here years ago. Ethan sets out the wine bottle, Sophia's favorite. He says, his voice bitter. We adjust the lamp's soft amber light to keep things calm but clear, every expression visible. The files sit in a neat stack, a ticking bomb. "How do you think they'll react?" I ask. Sinking into a chair, the weight of tomorrow pressing down. Ethan leans against the counter, arms crossed. "Sophia'll cry. Play the victim. Daniel, he's smoother. He'll try to talk his way out, maybe beg." He pauses, his eyes distant, but they're not ready for both of us knowing everything. I nod, a grim smile tugging at my lips. It's not revenge. It's reality walking through that door. He looks at me, something like respect in his gaze. "You're tougher than you look, Olivia." "Had to be," I say, my voice soft. "This house, it's where I lost a piece of myself. 3 years ago, I miscarried here. Daniel held me, promised we'd try again. Now he's bringing her to the same place." My voice cracks just for a moment, then steadies. I'm taking it back. Ethan's eyes soften, but he doesn't pry. "Sophia wanted kids too. Kept saying someday. Guess she found other priorities." He shakes his head, the pain raw but controlled. We fall silent, the bay's gentle waves outside, filling the space. The clock reads noon, less than 6 hours until they arrive. My phone buzzes Daniel, a photo of him at a client lunch, smiling like nothing's wrong. I don't reply. Instead, I pull up the bridge project's public records, cross-checking Ethan's files. The discrepancies scream fraud, cheap materials. Fudged safety tests. This isn't just personal anymore. It's about the people who trust that bridge to hold. Ethan watches me work, then speaks, his voice low. "You ever think we're going too far?" I meet his gaze, unflinching. If this was just about us, maybe. But that bridge, those lies. We're not the ones who went too far. They did. He nods, a quiet strength settling between us. We're not friends, not really, but we're allies forged in the fire of being lied to. The Bay House feels alive now, its walls holding our plan, our truth. Daniel and Sophia think they're slipping away for a romantic weekend, laughing at how clever they are. But tomorrow, when they walk through that door, they'll find us waiting. And the truth, It's sharper than any knife. The Chesapeake Bay house hums with tension, its cedar walls closing in as the clock ticks towards 6 p.m. I'm Olivia Bennett, and I'm sitting at the oak table, my hands steady, my heart a drumbeat. Across from me, Ethan Caldwell grips a coffee mug. His knuckles white, his eyes fixed on the door. The room is staged printed emails, bank records, and damning bridge project files stacked neatly beside a bottle of Sophia's favorite red wine. 4 crystal glasses glint under the amber light, mocking the romantic getaway Daniel and Sophia expect. We're ready, they're not. Outside the bay's waters lap softly, but inside the air is taut like a wire about to snap. Ethan and I haven't spoken in an hour, not since we double-checked every piece of evidence. Daniel's been stealing from my company, funneling thousands to fund his affair with Sophia. Worse, they're tied to her firm's fraudulent bridge project, a scam that could endanger lives. This isn't just about betrayal anymore. It's about stopping a disaster. The crunch of tires on gravel cuts through the silence. My pulse spikes, but I don't flinch. Ethan's eyes meet mine, a silent nod. Headlights flash through the windows and a car door slams. Laughter, carefree, intimate, drifts in, twisting my gut. It's them. Daniel steps out first, his leather jacket slung over one shoulder, a suitcase in hand. Sophia follows her auburn hair, catching the dusk, a silk scarf fluttering as she carries a small gift bag. They're smiling, oblivious, like lovers on a honeymoon. The door swings open. Sophia enters, her laugh dying as her eyes lock on me. She freezes, the gift bag slipping from her fingers. It hits the floor and a bottle of champagne rolls out, shattering with a crack. The sharp smell of alcohol fills the room. Daniel bumps into her, then looks up. His face drains of color when he sees us. Olivia! He chokes out, his voice a mix of shock and guilt. What? What are you doing here? I stand, my voice light but cutting. Welcome to your weekend getaway, Daniel. We've got wine chairs, and the truth. I gesture to the table where the evidence waits like a loaded gun. Sophia's mouth opens, then closes, her eyes darting to Ethan. Ethan, This isn't what it looks like. Her voice trembles, already cracking. Ethan rises his frame, towering, his voice cold as steel. Really, Sophia? Because it looks like you lied about your conference, like you've been sneaking off with him. He points at Daniel, who's still frozen, the suitcase dangling from his hand. Daniel recovers, stepping forward, his charm kicking in. Liv, listen, this is a misunderstanding. I can explain. Explain! I cut him off, my voice sharp enough to slice through his lies. Explain the $10,000 you stole from my company. The hotels, the flights, the pearl necklace for her. I toss a stack of receipts onto the table, each one a betrayal. Or maybe explain why you're helping Sophia hide her firm's fraud on the Annapolis Bridge. Sophia gasps, her hand flying to her chest. What? No, that's not. Ethan slams a file down, blueprints spilling out. Don't, Sophia. I've seen the reports. Low-grade steel faked safety tests. You signed off on it all. That bridge could collapse, and you knew. His voice shakes not with anger, but with the weight of her betrayal, not just to him, but to everyone who trusts her work. Daniel's eyes widen, darting between us. Liv, I didn't know about the bridge. I swear it was just business deals. Business, I laugh bitter, stepping closer. You funneled my company's money to her shell account. You're not a bystander, Daniel. You're an accomplice. I slide a bank statement across the table, his signature glaring up at him. Sophia collapses into a chair, her scarf slipping to the floor. Tears stream down her face, but I feel no pity. She's not the victim here. Ethan, please, she sobs. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Ethan turns away, staring out at the bay, his voice low. You told me you were working late, Sophia. You sent good night, love you, while you were here with him. What am I supposed to feel now? The room falls silent, the weight of their lies suffocating. I pick up a folder, my hands steady, despite the storm inside. I didn't come empty-handed. I say, my voice calm but unyielding. Emails, texts, financial records. Even a recording of your assistant Daniel confirming you had no client meetings in Miami. I pause, letting it sink in. You've been living a double life and I've got the receipts. Daniel grabs the folder, flipping through pages, his face reddening. You spied on me, he snaps, throwing it down. This is insane, Liv. No, I say, stepping into his space, my eyes locked on his. Insane is thinking you could lie to my face for months. Insane is bringing her to the place where I lost our baby. My voice cracks, but I hold his gaze. I trusted you, Daniel, and you threw it away. Sophia's sobs grow louder, but then she stands, her hands shaking. There's something else, she whispers, her eyes flicking to Ethan, then me. I'm pregnant. The word lands like a bomb. Ethan freezes his face, a mask of shock. Daniel stumbles back, his suitcase hitting the floor. What he breathes, his voice barely audible, pregnant. Sophia nods, tears spilling. I found out last week. I was going to tell you this weekend, Daniel, but... She turns to Ethan, her voice breaking. I don't know whose it is. The silence is deafening, the bay's waves outside, the only sound. Ethan's fists clench, his jaw tight, but he doesn't speak. Daniel's eyes dart wildly like a trapped animal. You're saying it might be mine, he asks, his voice rising. Or his. Don't, Sophia snaps, her composure flickering. Don't make this worse, Daniel. I've been honest about this, at least. I stand there, numb, the word pregnant echoing in my mind. For a moment, I'm back in this house, 3 years ago, curled on the floor, grieving the child we lost. Daniel held me, then promised we'd be okay. Now he's here with her, and a new life hangs in the balance. But I don't waver. I reach into my bag and pull out a slim folder, placing it on the table with a soft thud. This is the divorce petition, I say. My voice steady, cutting through the chaos. All financial assets are documented, verified by my attorney. I've frozen the accounts you touched, Daniel. You're done. I turn to Sophia, my eyes cold. And your bridge fraud? It's going to the city board tomorrow. You can't hide anymore. Daniel stares at the folder, his hands shaking. Liv, please. We can fix this. I love you. Love, I step back. My voice low final. If this is your love, lying, stealing, bringing her. Where I broke, then keep it. I don't want it. Ethan speaks, his voice raw but controlled. Sophia, I don't know what to do about this. He gestures vaguely at her, the unborn child. But I know you're not the woman I married. Not anymore. Sophia covers her face, sobbing. Daniel reaches for me, but I step away, my eyes locked on his. You can leave now, I say, or stay and face every lie you've told. But if you think I'll forgive you, you never knew me at all. The Bay House feels smaller now, its walls holding the wreckage of 2 marriages. Ethan and I exchange a glance, a silent agreement. We've done what we came for. The truth is out sharp and unyielding, and nothing will ever be the same. The Chesapeake Bay fades behind me. As I drive away from the house, its cedar walls now, just a shadow in the dusk. I'm Olivia Bennett, and I've just left my husband Daniel and his lover Sophia Reynolds in the ruins of their lies. The air in my car is heavy, thick with the weight of what happened, Daniel's betrayal. Sophia's pregnancy, the the fraudulent bridge project that could have hurt so many. Ethan Caldwell. Sophia's husband sits beside me, his hands clasped, staring at the road ahead. We don't speak, but the silence isn't empty. It's the kind you earn after facing the truth head on. The confrontation was brutal, but it's over. I laid out the evidence, stolen funds, emails, fake bridge reports, and watched Daniel's charm crumble. Sophia's tears didn't move me, not after she admitted to a child that might not even be Ethan's. I left divorce papers on the table, my signature cold and final. Tomorrow I'll report the bridge fraud to the Annapolis City Board. But tonight I'm driving towards something new, something mine. Ethan breaks the silence, his voice low. You did good back there, Olivia. Kept your head. Not sure I could have. I glance at him, his tired eyes catching the dashboard light. You held your own, I say. Calling out Sophia on the bridge, that took guts. I pause, then add, what now for you? He rubs his jaw, exhaling. Don't know. The baby. If it's mine, I'll step up. Kid doesn't deserve this mess. He looks out at the passing trees. Sophia and we're done. Can't build on lies. I nod, my grip tightening on the wheel. Same. Daniel's not my future. He hasn't been for a while. The words feel true, lighter than I expected. 12 years with him, 6 married, and it's ending. But I'm not breaking. I'm bending, reshaping, becoming someone new. We stop at a diner in downtown Annapolis, a small place with neon lights and the smell of fried onions. Ethan insists on coffee, says it's the least we owe ourselves. I order a slice of pie cherry tart, enough to wake me up. We sit in a booth, the world outside blurring into night. You ever think about starting over? He asks, stirring his coffee, the spoon clinking softly. Every day, I say, cutting into the pie. I'm done with the CFO grind. Boardrooms, late nights. It's not me anymore. I pause, a smile tugging at my lips. I used to paint back in college. Landscapes mostly. Chesapeake sunsets. I'm thinking, maybe I'll pick it up again. Ethan's eyes soften, a faint grin breaking through. Yeah, I'd buy one. Always wanted to be an artist myself, but bridges pay better. He chuckles, then sobers. You deserve that, Olivia. A life that's yours. His words settle warm and grounding. We're not friends, not exactly, but we're something, two people who walked through fire and came out singed but standing. We finish our coffee, pay the bill, and part with a handshake, his grip firm. Call if you need me, he says. We're not done talking, I think. Deal, I say, and I mean it. I drive home alone, the bay's salt air clinging to my hair, and for the first time in months, I feel free. Weeks pass and the pieces fall into place. The city board launches an investigation into Harbor Construction's bridge project after I submit Ethan's files and my financial records. The news breaks faulty materials, faked tests, and Sophia's firm faces lawsuits. Daniel's tied to it, his name dragged through the mud for funneling funds. His marketing firm sidelines him, no more big clients, just desk work. He doesn't fight the divorce. I get the Bay House, sell it for a clean profit, and cut every tie to him. The money's mine, earned untangled from his lies. I move to Ocean City, a small house by the sea. White clapboard with a porch that catches the sunrise. No more Annapolis high-rises, no more 16-hour days. I quit my CFO job, start a consulting firm, Bennett Financial, helping women like me, divorced, rebuilding. I teach them to manage assets, to stand tall, not as a cold expert, but as someone who's lived it. They trust me, and I know why. I've walked their path, felt the fear, and found the strength. My easel sits on the porch, paint scattered beside it. I'm rusty, but each stroke feels like reclaiming a piece of myself. Chesapeake sunsets, all pinks and golds, come alive on my canvas. I'm no Picasso, but I'm painting for me, not applause. The sea hums outside steady like it's whispering, "You're enough." Ethan texts sometimes updates about his life. Sophia's keeping the baby, he writes one day. Girl healthy, I'm figuring it out. A photo comes through, a tiny hand curled around his finger, his face soft hopeful. I don't know if he and Sophia are together, but he's trying learning to trust again. I reply, "She's beautiful. You're doing good. Our chats are short, simple. Happy Thanksgiving," or a link to a beach house that reminds him of Chesapeake. No labels, just understanding. One morning, I'm on this porch, coffee steaming, my latest painting drying nearby. The waves crash endless, and I realize I'm not the woman who sat in that dark office, staring at Daniel's lies. I'm not the wife who ignored red flags, hoping love would fix it. I'm Olivia, 36, painting, consulting, living. Daniel was my past, a lesson in what love isn't. Trust, respect. Honesty, those are the roots, and he burned them all. I don't hate him anymore. I don't need to. He's small now, a shadow that doesn't reach me. The divorce finalized fast. My attorney ruthless, my evidence airtight. I kept what was mine, sold the Bay House, and built this life. Sophia's firm collapsed under scrutiny, and Daniel's career stalled. They're paying their price. I'm building my peace. The sun climbs higher, warming my face. I pick up a brush, dip it in crimson, and add a streak to the canvas, a bold slash, unapologetic. This is my story now, not his. I'm not running from pain. I'm painting through it, one color at a time. The sea sings and I listen, knowing I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. The sun dips low over Ocean City, painting the sea in hues of amber and rose. I'm Olivia Bennett, standing on my porch, a mug of tea, warm in my hands, the waves whispering truths I've fought to claim. Months ago, I was a wife betrayed, staring at an email that shattered my world. Daniel's affair with Sophia Reynolds, his theft from my company, their tangled lies about a fraudulent bridge project. I faced them in our Chesapeake Bay house, laid bare their secrets, and walked away with divorce papers and a resolve to rebuild. Now here in this new life, I've found something stronger than pain myself. This isn't just my story. It's a map for anyone who's ever been broken and dared to rise. Betrayal cuts deep, but it doesn't have to define you. Daniel's lies, sneaking off with Sophia, stealing thousands to fund their affair, taught me that love without honesty is a house built on sand. It collapses under the smallest wave. I spent 12 years believing in him, ignoring the late nights, the locked phone, the cold glances. I told myself love is enough. It isn't. Trust is the foundation, respect the walls, honesty the roof. Without them, you're left in the rain, wondering why you're soaked. My first lesson: demand truth from others and yourself. If someone hides it, they're not worth your heart. Rebuilding starts with loving you. After the confrontation, I could have stayed angry, let Daniel's betrayal poison me. Instead, I chose me. I left my CFO job, the endless meetings, the life that wasn't mine. I moved to Ocean City, started Bennett Financial, helping divorced women claim their worth not just in dollars, but in courage. I picked up a paintbrush, let Chesapeake sunsets spill onto canvas messy, but mine. I learned to sit with silence, to hear the sea, and know I'm enough. You don't need someone else to complete you. You are the whole story, the boldest colors, the deepest lines. Love yourself first fiercely, and the rest will follow. Acting for others gives purpose to pain. Uncovering Sophia's bridge fraud wasn't just about exposing her and Daniel. It was about the people crossing that bridge, every day unaware it could fail. Ethan and I took the evidence to the city board, stopped a disaster before it struck. That choice, standing up not just for me, but for strangers, gave my hurt meaning. Your pain can be a spark, a call to protect, to build, to make things right. Look beyond your wounds. Who else needs your strength? That's where healing lives. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. I don't forgive Daniel, not in the way he'd want. He begged, said he loved me, but love doesn't lie. Steal or bring another woman to the place where I grieved our lost child. I don't hate him either. I let him go, like releasing a weight that was never mine to carry. Forgiveness is for you, not them. It's choosing peace over poison, stepping forward without looking back. Daniel's in my past, smaller every day. My future. It's this porch, this paintbrush, this life I've claimed. Here's what I believe: pain is a teacher, not a jailer. In America, we're told to chase freedom, to be our own heroes. My story's proof you can lose everything and still build something better. Daniel wasn't my destination, just a detour that showed me my strength. Ethan's out there navigating fatherhood, maybe with Sophia, maybe not. We text sometimes simple things, Happy New Year, or a photo of his daughter's tiny hand. We don't need much. We walked through fire together, and that's enough. You have that fire too, that chance to rise to paint your own sunset. So what's your truth? Are you holding on to a lie, hoping it'll turn into love? Are you afraid to walk away because the unknown feels too big? I've been there staring at an email, my world crumbling. But I chose to stand to dig, to face the mess. You can too. Betrayal doesn't end you. It begins you if you let it. Grab your truth, hold it tight, and build something no one can take. The sea's still singing, and it's saying you've got this. Now I'm asking you, what would you do? If you found that email, that lie, would you confront it like I did, or would you try to forgive and stay? Drop your thoughts below raw and real. Share your story because someone out there needs to hear it. And if this moved you, hit that follow button. There's more where this came from, stories of breaking, building, becoming. Let's keep this journey going, together.